as you can see, I am back with another book review. I am reading a book by this author for the very first time. This author's name is Charmaine Wilkerson, and the book is titled Deluge, and it's a part of the Good Intentions collection. Now, this book is I would call it definitely a short story. It is 37 pages, and this book, I didn't know where it was going at first. It starts off with the book talking to you really in, is it third person maybe? All I know is the book is like speaking to you as if you are you're the character. It's like, you walk into the living room and then you see this and then you see that. So, as an author, I should have a way better grip on which person that is, if that's like a second person, third person. I should know better. So, forgive me. Regardless, the book starts off with this woman saying it is her 40th birthday is coming up, and she's super excited. Her mother just passed away a year before. She's obviously sad that her mother isn't there. This woman which is you, this woman is married with children now. She goes to see her stepfather, who she calls Steppy. She's there to visit Steppy, and for whatever reason, she decides to go up in the attic, and she's looking through things. She's asking questions about the flood that happened when she was a child, that, her mother really carried her through the floodwaters, and I really was like, wow, like, I can't imagine what that's like, being a child in New Orleans or any of those places where you have floods and you have hurricanes coming in. It's devastating, and I was only probably, God, maybe 8-9 years old when Hurricane Katrina happened. So I really can't imagine what that's like as a child going through it, in the actual city. I can't even imagine. But this book definitely gave you some input on that experience and what it could be like. The issue comes about when the main character, she goes upstairs in this attic and she's finding all these pictures and belongings and things, and she comes down and she asks Debbie, like, I thought you said there was nothing from before the flood. Like, you told me I had no baby pictures. You guys said there was nothing. Yet here are pictures of you and mom together. So how is that, like, well, I think it was pictures of her and the mom and her father together. So it just makes her go down this whole line of questioning to Stephanie of, like, what happened to my lion? Like, what happened to my lion toy? What happened to this? What happened to that? And Steppy has an answer for everything. And the book goes from present tense to past tense to present tense to past a few times, but she really is just searching for answers. She wants to know, like, why does it feel like I'm in the dark and you have all the answers to my questions, but I know nothing about anything? What is going on? And eventually Steppy comes and tells her, like, you're right, like, your mom isn't exactly your birth mother. Like, there were so many revelations in this book. I felt horrible for her because her emotions are running high at this point, and she decides, let me fall back from speaking to Steppy because I feel like I've been lied to. Like, if I don't even know, you're saying now that, this isn't my birth mother. Eventually she finds out that, it wasn't even a formal adoption of how her mother came into possession of her, I guess you could say it that way. She's now realizing, I know nothing about myself. I know nothing about my family. Is my life even real? I don't even know if my freaking 40th birthday that's coming up, I don't even know if that's actually my birthday. It is driving her insane. This story, book, novella, it was heartbreaking because there is no winner in the end. There is no, this was great, and the main character got to, there was no winner in the end. Her mother's not there to give her some of the vital answers to questions that she needs. Her mother's also not there to defend herself on some of the decisions that she made, whether they were questionable or honorable. It all is left up to the interpretation of the reader, because it's just like, while she did some things with good intentions, it's also like, does that make it right? And although she, did some things that were it can, some of the mother's decisions can come off as really freaking selfish. You know, I just felt bad because I'm like, you guys left her in the dark entirely. Like, yeah, I could have told this woman the truth by the time she was, I don't know, 16, 17, 18. Every family decides when the appropriate age is to tell their child, you know, you were adopted, or this is how you came into our family. I just felt horrible because it is almost 40 some odd years later. And she's just now finding out. Think about all the lost connections and, you know, the family members and the memories she could have cherished. Like, she could have whole grandparents out there that now she has to struggle to try and find. She can have siblings out there, you know, that are still alive. She can have nieces and nephews that are her children's age. She was just robbed of such an experience, such a life. She does make an irrational decision towards the end of the book where she's like, I am calling the police because you're not going to sit here and act like there was nothing you could have did, Steppy. Okay, you could have stepped up, big stepper. You could have sat here and said something. You could have told somebody. You could have did something. You could have told me. You could have told the police. You could have did anything. And instead, you just sat here and continued on with this lie. And whenever I was having these flashbacks of the past or whatever, you guys used to make it seem like it just was some bad dream I was remembering. You guys, this book was good. I definitely feel like it was like a 4 out of 5 just on the aspect of I wanted my girl to have a happy ending, and there is no happy ending in a situation like that. There just was no happy ending, and I was sad because I just felt like I think the author did a great job at putting you in this mind frame by saying you do this and you know, you went up to the attic and you saw this and you remember when the water splashed on your arm and this and that. By doing that, the author really made you feel all of those emotions, and you really kind of start to have those moments of getting pissed off yourself. I don't know. Poor main character, who's like nameless at this point. Poor main character. You guys, this book was really good. If you read a book by this author, go ahead and drop the name below. I saw that this author had a book called, I believe it was Black Cake. I am jumping on that book very soon. I even saw Oprah recommending this book, so I was like, why was no one going to put me on? Like, no one was going to tell me anything? Regardless, if you have not already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, okay? Because I'm dropping book reviews every Wednesday and Saturday. At this point, my book reviews are lined up months in advance. You guys ought to be proud of me, okay? So, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next book review.